All right, so today let's get into some Ethereum news for you. The ETF Futures is launching and what that might mean for you guys out there today in terms of the crypto impact overall. We're breaking down for you guys today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. All right, so let's talk to you guys about a few things here. I want to get into our advertiser today, and that is Tangem. If you guys are looking at going into self-custody, one of the ways you can do that is going through Tangem Wallet. These are cards that work off of NFC, very effective. I've been able to see and test this wallet. Has a lot of features in it. If you guys want to check it out, just go over, and there's a couple of cards you can get into. You can get into the new Tangem wallet, which essentially is going to allow you to do an optional seed phrase, and or you can go to the classic where it generates all that for you. But make sure and use our discount code below. They just put out a tweet, optional seed phrase now available there on the new card coming up. We don't recommend using a seed phrase, but we want every user to choose their own path. That's kind of up to you guys how you want to go, because there's the seed phrase card obviously will do that, and then the non-seed phrase card will auto-generate that. So you don't necessarily have the integration into external wallets, but take a look at it. I think this is one of those tools that will help you out. All right, so let's get into a couple of the news items today. I want to jump over to the first story, and this is anticipated GDP data released. Obviously, Bitcoin's first reaction. We've seen a little bit of uptick in terms of Bitcoin, mostly because of the Gensler hearing. But remember, we've got a lot of people worried about this government shutdown and the negative impact it's going to have on not only the U.S. credit rating, but also markets, bonds. And if markets and bonds are affected, the likelihood is we're going to also see some effect here in the crypto markets as well. I'd love to get you guys' feedback on whether or not you feel a shutdown would cause Bitcoin or Ethereum to fall. Let me know down in the comments. Make sure and smash the like button if you guys like these kind of video breakdowns for you. Further into topics for the ETF, the ETF price skyrockets as Ethereum's ETF eyes this Monday launch. There's been a little bit of a push for this too. The tweet that was done here by Balchunas, update, hearing the SEC, here you go. Hearing the SEC wants to accelerate the launch of ETH futures because they want it basically off their plate before the shutdown. So they've asked their filers to update their docs by Friday PM. No small task to jam all this in 24 hours. This is a pretty big deal. I think obviously the component here, and a lot of people that will look at this is maybe the SEC taking a step forward to offset this bipartisan, or I should say partisan, approach toward the crypto markets and ETFs in general, because Congress called them to the floor yesterday. By the way, if you have not checked out our video on the Gary Gensler grilling, you want to check it out. There's a ton of clips. I think the thing was like 6 or 7 hours long. We pulled that down into a core clips that really got into the crux of what they were talking about. So check it out. Ethereum spot ETF becomes the SEC's next delay victim. That, of course, is the situation that I think a lot of people will deal with. One day after delaying the Bitcoin spot decision, the SEC also confirmed that similar Ethereum applications have suffered the same fate. So this is not something that's going to be moving very quickly. All of this stems from the 1934 Securities Act. The act allows the agency to postpone resolutions like the Ethereum spot ETF for 45 to 90 days there in that highlight. And the SEC could fast track the ETH futures product to compensate for its spot ETF delay. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a way on both. I think this is more of a government shutdown situation than anything with Gensler and with the SEC. Van Eck also is preparing to launch their ETF futures for ETH. This just shows more interest in the space overall, and I think this is a good thing. Coinbase also rolling out their perpetual futures trading for retail traders and users outside the U.S. A couple of points I wanted to highlight here in the article. Coinbase has secured approval to offer perpetual futures tradings. Again, this is retail customers outside the U.S. And then the exchange has also seen more than 5.5 billion in notional futures trading volume from institutions as of the second quarter of this year. So interesting that they're going this direction. I think this is, I think overall strategy-wise, Coinbase is looking at more of a global market position now that they've seen some of the weaknesses that have started to show up with Binance. and some of the others out there in the market. So Coinbase is definitely going all in. Further into this, another troublesome giant cryptocurrency exchange announces it may sell large amounts of Ethereum soon. They're talking, of course, about BitMEX. And what they're talking about doing is they announced plans to reallocate a significant portion of the insurance fund by converting up to about 20 million in ETH and 80 million of Tether into dollars over the next few weeks. So I don't know that this will cause any ripples in the industry, but it is one to always watch. Anytime these whale moves are, and I know that's only 100 million. I know I just said $100 million, but it's only 100 million in the, the scheme of things when you look at the overall market really trending at around 1 trillion right now. Further into this, ETH developers appear that they've been successful in a second attempt at the Holsky test network launch. Now, what does that mean? Let me kind of zoom in on some highlights here. ETH developers Thursday initiated their second attempt to launch the Holsky test network after an attempt in the earlier month. Looks like the launch is successful. And what the network is supposed to help developers to do is test some scaling plans for both ETH, but also the Go Early testnet, which is already in wide use. This will allow twice as many validators to join the network. That's a good thing. And then it will also be important for Ethereum's upcoming hard fork to Denken. This is where deshanking is going to be excluding a technical feature which will reduce gas fees. So again, this is all about gas fees, being able to handle more nodes, etc. Good thing is that, I think the takeaway here is that ETH is still developing very aggressively. And if you're following ETH as a whole and as a platform, that's a good thing. You want that kind of development, especially in this kind of market condition, because most of the time in these kind of market conditions, most companies and projects start to falter, and that's a good thing. Another thing that is coming is big is, if you haven't heard, this is a new EIP 6963, and it's going to allow you guys to do some things on your wallets that are a little different. And you guys have probably seen this before, where because you have many different wallets, you go to a website that has an integration into Web3 and all your wallets start popping up. Well, this is going to resolve that. So what they said in this tweet is create a new channel of communication between apps and browser extension wallets, removing the conflicts that arise. Now, if you have a Coinbase wallet or a Phantom wallet, they're always kind of fighting for what wallet's going to get used. The cool thing is now all they're going to do is work together, which will make it much easier and a much smoother UX and experience for Web3 websites going forward. So the good thing is they're working together, and all of this, of course, is tied over to what Phantom has done. There was Phantom, tweeting right there. Appreciate the shout out. EIP 6963, big step forward in making the user experience more fluid. Totally agree with this. Good movement. And these are the kind of steps that we need to see happening in Web3, especially from a UX standpoint, to really accelerate adoption and also ease of use. That's a big deal. Further in the news, you've got Crypto.com teaming up with PayPal and Paxos to enable PayPal USD, PYUSD. This is kind of Johnny come lately, but it's good press, and I think it's a good topic, and the fact that there's still a lot of Crypto.com users out there. I know everybody kind of chooses who you like, but you're going to be able to trade some PYUSD over there. PayPal also filing for a patent application for NFT transfers and trading. And I think this is something that, as we see more major companies starting to make these kinds of moves, this to me is just the beginning of the tip of the iceberg that really starts to become a factor, I think, in how everyday life is going to be affected by crypto, and especially by Web3 around NFT usage and all the things that are happening there. In fact, when you look at what's happening over at Walmart, they went out and launched the Pudgy penguins. We did a full video on this. And the cool thing is remember that this is going to generate transactions on Ethereum. And they're already selling out. I mean, you can already start to see some of these items selling out. Remember, this is Walmart, 2,000 stores. I don't know how many, there could be hundreds of thousands of these things going out there. Good thing is this is mainstream. Mainstream is a good positive element here. Here was just a tweet showing that people are going out, and I cannot believe this guy bought $500 worth of Pudgy penguins. I mean, they're going to be collectibles. Yes, there is an NFT related to it. And I think that's the bigger integration that I think people are going to start to understand and learn, especially as these things get more scarce. That's going to be another big advantage, to definitely one to watch. Just to give an example, here's the Pudgy Penguins sales over the last 7 days right there, almost 1.2 million. And then there's the spike right there, obviously because of Walmart. We'll probably continue to see Pudgy Penguins on the NFT side climb the charts. It went from like number 10 to number 4 pretty quickly. Again, all of this in the ETH ecosystem. So only bullish for ETH. Now, just as a reminder, this was kind of the bad news of the week, and that was Chase sending out this notice to 62 million American bank account holders. And that is, our policy is around crypto is changing. And that to me is a huge issue with Chase coming into this. I think, and I even put out a tweet on this asking people what banks. Ironically, I got a lot of people that responded that a lot of banks are still very active on opening, and allowing integration with Coinbase and other exchanges out there. I'd love to know what kind of experiences you guys have had from the traditional finance space. Make sure and drop some comments down below and let me know. Here was, of course, Brian Armstrong tweeting about this. Totally inappropriate behavior from Chase UK. This is our UK bank, is his understanding. And that the UK crypto holders should close their Chase accounts if this is how they're going to be treated. And guess what? Join Coinbase. You can jump over there and go that direction. We have a big audience from London too, so shout out to all you guys in UK. Let me know, are you having other problems with other banks there in the UK? I'd love to kind of hear that. Don't forget that we're going to see tomorrow, the 29th of September, we're going to see Ripple have their big party. A lot of people are speculating, could there be some other news coming in on this? We talked about this earlier in the week, but is there an IPO looming? Is there a U.S. bank looking at utilization of XRP and the Ripple network? I don't know. We're going to see something big. I can't imagine that Brad Garlinghouse and the Ripple team would not use this party to do something big. So I'm really watching the charts around that. A couple other points. Ripple versus the SEC facing uncertainty amidst the potential government shutdown. And I think the point here is the federal courts. This is where it gets really dicey for regulation, for the Coinbase trial, and all those kind of things. Federal courts are somewhat a little bit more resilient to these shutdowns with adequate financial reserves to sustain their operations until at least the 13th of October. So there may be hope here that the courts will still continue to grind away at the issues, especially around the Coinbase trial, so that we don't end up getting this pushed outside of October. If this gets pushed outside of October, understand, Congress is going to start to slow down in November, and then December is a nothing month. Then you have an election year coming up, a new session coming in, and everybody's going to be trying to vie for position for re-election. This will be bad if we do not get some major October news in the court system and also on the regulatory front, which with the government shutdown, this could really cause a lot of problems, and it could put us back maybe as far as 2025 before we really, that's right, I said 2025, before we really see any kind of movement. So just remember, you've got to get out there, let your congressmen know, let your lawmakers know what your position is. We talked about this, I think, a lot to let everybody know, but maybe you're new to the channel. Coinbase launched their new America Loves Crypto campaign. This was right there in the halls of Congress, and everybody was there, which is great because at the same time, you have Brian right there having some fun. It's funny, but go over to the standwithcrypto.org website, and this is the thing I tell everybody I know that is in crypto, and even people who are not in crypto that are thinking about getting in crypto. Maybe you're not in crypto right now, and you're thinking, what is this thing? Is it going to last? All that. People, it's here. It's going to stay. You can do one thing, and that is jump in the fight here. All you have to do is hit that call your congressman. It'll actually jump up and give you a protocol that will help you get the phone number. You can call them direct. It also gets a full script going. All you have to do is put in your own address there. And I think you can use city and zip code so it doesn't get too invasive for you. But it will give you your congressman. You can call them direct. It gives you a full script. Use it. Click the link. We'll leave a link down below. Coinbase is not a sponsor. We do this just to help the industry kind of get to the next level, which I think you guys all want to do as well. All right. If you're not following us out there on Twitter, make sure and check us out. You can go to Paul Barron TV and catch that Twitter account. If you're not in our Diamond Circle, make sure and get in on that, because that's going to give you additional content. We do a podcast every Thursday that is our Web3 podcast. I do additional audio and also video analysis over there, so it's the way you start. And of course, if you want to reach me out there on X, it's at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.